This, for some reason, is happening a lot more now. Anxiety, depression, mental illnesses, and it's not just the geriatric age. It's a lot of the younger children are getting it too. And if you understand what they both are first, those will tell you what I think are best practices. If we look at, let's start with depression first. What is depression? What does depression mean? Depression, kind of simply stated, is we're still living in the past. We're thinking about who we were, about what we did, about what made us sad. You know, Tony Robbins kind of says, hey, we're our own producers, our own movie producers. When we get depressed, we keep watching the movies that we don't like. So what's a movie that you hate? Yeah, that you don't like, that you were like, you maybe walked out, you turned it off.
Twilight. Hated it, just walk away.
This is what people do, is they put Twilight back in, every single day. If they're bored, they put it back in, they start watching it. Why do we do that we wouldn't do that with movies, but we do that with our own life. That's depression. Depression is just living in the past and thinking, what if I could have changed that? What if? You get stuck in that hole. But then some people get recognition, they get love because they're depressed. And so once they find those people that give them that significance, oh, you're gonna be okay. That's the love and connection that they're looking for. But we're establishing the wrong connection with a depressed person. What we need to do is wake that person up out of depression. Start getting them to think, but really we just change their pattern because they're so busy, you know, thinking about that sore movie. When we talked about Twilight, if you say, what would happen? Automatically they would start laughing. Like, oh my God, that's pretty funny. You know, because you can't help, but then what do? They crawl right back into their little depressive state because that's where they feel comfortable. Everything that they want, because that's where they've always been. So we talk about certainty and uncertainty also. They're certain they can get back into that realm. They're gonna get recognition for it, and when somebody asks them how they're doing or if they need anything to feel better, that's how they get their connection/love. So it's not real. It's the worst that they can actually get. What we wanna do is wake people up out of it so that now they get the recognition, they get the love, they get the significance, they get the certainty for the right reasons. So they wake up out of that. We fast forward now to anxiety. What is anxiety? Anxiety is living in the future. When I was young, we called it excited. I'm excited. I got a field trip tomorrow. I'm excited. I got school, first day of school tomorrow. I'm excited. For some reason now, it's called anxiety because we start getting so fearful. We can get significance, we can get love, we can get certainty because I know that I can be there and I know that I can curl up in my ball and be fearful of what's gonna happen. They both have a connection. That connection is people are staying in their own heads. They're not doing anything for anybody else. They're not trying to protect anybody else. What they're doing is they're living in their own life of either the past or the unknown. And that's it. And that's why those happen. Simone Biles, I don't know what she went through. I could only see what the media said, but she had what I would consider a little bit of anxiety, you know, and everybody's kind of, again, this is from mile high view, 1,000 feet back. Well, the family's not there. Her boyfriend's not there. Loved ones aren't there. Nobody's there. No fans are there. They're in a bubble. Welcome to two-a-days playing football. We had a bubble for a month. It was, guys, you're going to get away from your girlfriends. You're going to get away from all distractions because we need to come together as a team. Well, they do that for Japan, and that happens to her. I think it can happen to anybody. But we look at why she called herself out and says, hey, you know what? I'm going to back off. They go and win. You know, she has Sunny Lee winning. That kind of just opened up her brain to say, wait, I can do this. She comes back on the beam, bronze. So we all kind of live with a little bit of anxiety, but it's called excitement. Think of when somebody has anxiety, their palms start to sweat, they get shallow breath, chest gets tight, shoulders get up to your ears. You know, it's just like everything's closing in on you. What happens when you get excited? Palms get sweaty, breath gets shallow, shoulders go up, you're excited. Watch a kid scream through excitement. What do they do this. They lighten up. And so when you look at anxiety and depression, get out of your head. Stay in your head and you're dead. And I think it was Zig Ziglar's quote or Jim Rohn's quote, but he goes, you help enough people with their problems, you realize you don't have any problems of your own. Because a lot of times we get angst. And so that's where people, I get where Simone came from. I'm not saying she's right or she's wrong. She did what she needed to do at that time. She came back and finished. Good on her. What a lot of people don't do is they don't ever try to come back. And they try and sit there and they wallow in their own self-pity, and then that's not good. And so it's don't stay in your head. You know, she got to see everybody else and she was the cheerleader. Again, she's helping them with their problems and she's going, I can do that. Simone Biles isn't a cheerleader. Simone Biles is the talent, you know, but sometimes we don't want to be the talent. I get it. Not everybody does. But one of the exercises I like people to do with anxiety, remember anxiety and excitement are the exact same. And I don't know why we allow children to have anxiety. We need to say, no, you're excited. And I get it. Here's what my dad would always tell me. What happens? We get butterflies in our stomach. You know, afraid, we're fearful, we're excited, we have anxiety. I would get this all the time when I'd play football. And my dad would go, are you getting butterflies? He mentioned it. He goes, are you getting butterflies in your stomach? I said, yeah, Dad, I am. And he goes, Jonas, we all get butterflies. But the ones that do really well with those butterflies, what you do is you teach those butterflies to fly in formation. You teach that angst or that excitement to work for you. Once you can learn that's there for you to give you that adrenaline rush, now you have the you have the magic. Yeah. When others are using it as a weakness, that's the strength that can propel us to the victory or propel us through that next event, whatever it is that we're doing. So that's something really big. Just when you feel that, how do you teach your butterflies to fly in formation? That's one of the coolest things that my dad, even my mom, I was speaking at an event, working out in the morning, and then my mom shoots me a text message and says, make sure you have those butterflies fly in formation. Because she knew I was speaking that day, in front of about 1,000 people. And I was like, whoa, Mom, like, dropping bombs right here, dropping knowledge bombs, Mom. That was one of the coolest things. And so, figure out how to make that work for you. Or another one, anxiety. Palms are sweaty, hands. And if you don't remember being a kid, go watch kids on YouTube or, your social media and watch your friends' children. When they get excited, what do? They start clapping, they start jumping, they start moving. So whenever you're feeling that anxiety, get up, shake it out, make a move, change the physiology of the body. Make it a power statement, not a weakness feeling. You can change that to be the exclamation point. Most people know when it's happening too. They know when it's happening. And so they go, okay, correct. Intuitively, they know when it's happening and they just need somebody, and we can walk people through mentally. You got this coming, you got that coming. If people are really good at anxiety, they can get into angst immediately. They can get in depression like that. How does somebody get in depression? What do they start thinking about? Oh, I start thinking about an ex-boyfriend, an ex-girlfriend. I start thinking about this. I start thinking about bills. I start thinking, immediately you can take yourself into depression. What does that mean? Immediately you can take yourself out. You just have to know when you're getting there, and you have to know why you get there. Again, change the pattern on both of those. So same thing for depression. Get up, start moving around. Go for a workout. What do people do when they're depressed? They want to change their physiology. What do they do that with? Alcohol, drugs, and food. Why? Because our digestive system, once that starts moving, it changes the physiology in the body. So the physiology has changed. If we have that depression and you go out for a run, you go lift weights, you go for a swim, you go for a hike, you go to meditate, you just start breathing differently, right? Like the Wim Hof breathing. That's why people can go, I don't work out, I just meditate. What is working? It changes the lungs. That's all people want. They want to inhale and they want to exhale lungs. We can talk about a lot big time in the future. But everything, look at yoga. What do they focus on? Breathing. Meditation, breathing. Go to CrossFit. Make sure you're breathing, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling at the right time. Sprinting. Look at the Olympics just happened. Everybody is breathing in their certain ways to get themselves into the game, to get themselves into that position to win. They find their state. They change their state. Some people like that state of weakness because they just don't know how to get out. Or again, they know how to get out, but they're not going to get the same love and connection. There's a lot of ways to go once somebody has that anxiety and depression, but that's what we fall into those. Okay, you know what? I didn't realize how much of a badass I really am. And you need those friends around you to say that. You need your friends to wake you up and go, hey, if you're going to be a friend of mine, we're only as strong as our weakest link. Wake up.
Oh!
You're wallowing in angst and excitement because you're going to be on the biggest stage in the world. You've waited not only 4 years for this, you've waited 5 years to be in the Olympics, and you're going to tap out? Yeah. Right now? The finish line is right here. And I get it. If that's you, that's you. But can we wake up out of that? Can you have some friends that wake you up out of that? And the biggest thing that most people want is they want somebody to listen. We all just want to be heard. Can you just listen to me? Can you help me out? Let's listen. Because you can't pull somebody out of their pain too fast. The pain, they need to sit in their pain for a little bit. We need to aggregate the pain a little bit. Now, why is this? Now, what happened? How did you feel? Now, how did they feel? Now, what's been going on? Let them sit in their pain for a little bit before you go, oh, that's all you're worried about? Well, that's a bunch of BS. Let's go. Then they go, you never heard a word that I said. Listen to be interested, not interesting. Most people listen to give their feedback. And I said, no, we have to be interested. I want to know what is going on with you, not with them, not with them, not with them. What's going on with you right now? Let's figure that out, because that's why I'm here. And if I'm really interested, I can meet you where you're at, and then I can take you to a place where you want to be. But I have to know where you're coming from first. Because if you take somebody out, then you're disingenuine. So it's listen to your friends, listen to your coaches, listen to your teammates, listen to your loved ones, listen to your family, whoever it is that you like to listen to. Go listen to them. That'll take you out of either of these two realms. So there's several things that can be done to really fix this, and those are just the top 3 or 4 that you just saw right there. It's really simple, but sometimes we just need to be sat down and hear it, and then we go from there. get out of depression, get out of anxiety for good. As long as you know why you go into there, you can know how to get out. And it's teaching people why they got there in the first place. When you can knock those two things out and you can start helping others, then you go, wait, I have no problems of my own. Because then you see that people really have issues. When we're worried about an event, when we're worried about a future travel, we're worried about sickness in the air, and we're going, hold on, somebody's dying of X, Y, and Z. Somebody just lost a loved one. Wow, maybe my anxiety is unnecessary. But a lot of times it takes us opening up to others. So don't stay in your head, go help others. And that will really help you get rid of your own thought process of living in your internal universe. Go help your internal universe by helping your external universe. You know, it's the whole adage, go out looking for friends, you won't find one. Go out to be a friend and you'll have more than you can count. People they want friendship. So what are you looking for, or what are you giving? So let's go give outside of ourselves, because right now we're giving ourselves a hard damn time.